Ever feel like you're drowning in information, just wishing you could, get straight to the heart of a complex topic, understand it deeply, fast? Well, that's exactly what we're aiming to do for you today. Think of this as your shortcut to really getting a handle on a philosophy that drives success everywhere. We're talking about quality management. And this isn't just abstract theory, not at all. It's about the real, practical systems that make big corporations tick, and maybe even how you could optimize your own projects. Today, we're going deep into Total Quality Management, TQM. We'll trace its, surprising history, unpack its core ideas, look at the pros and cons, and get into the nitty-gritty statistical tools behind it.
That's the plan. Our mission, really, is to pull out the absolute key takeaways, those aha moments, from all this material for you. So by the end of our chat, you won't just know the definitions, you'll grasp why these concepts like TQM, SBC, SQC are so critical for achieving excellence and how they genuinely revolutionized industries worldwide.
Okay, let's dive in. Total Quality Management, TQM. What is it, fundamentally?
Right. In its simplest terms, TQM is a management system that involves the entire company. Every single employee works together, constantly looking to improve processes, products, services, and the goal, always meeting customer needs and ultimately driving the business forward.
That word total seems pretty key there.
It really is. Total means everyone, from the folks designing the product to the people making it to the ones shipping it out. Everyone has a role in continuous improvement. It's not siloed off in one department.
And management. That
I
sounds
know.
deliberate, not just letting quality happen.
Exactly. Management signifies this is a focused, structured way of thinking. It needs real commitment from the top, strong leadership. It's definitely not passive. You can't just, hope for quality. It needs active managing.
So if TQM ropes in everyone, the whole company, how does that actually translate into happier customers? That sounds like a massive effort. Is there a common hang-up? Like, what if one part of the company isn't fully on board? How does that mess things up for the customer?
That's a really sharp question. You see, the big insight with TQM is that quality isn't something you inspect in at the end. It's designed in from the very start. It actually changes the cost game. It's much cheaper to prevent problems than to fix them later. TQM focuses on making the process excellent, cutting waste, reducing errors, making delivery consistent. So if a part of the company doesn't buy in, you've got a weak link. That creates inconsistencies, maybe delays, maybe product flaws, and that definitely chips away at customer trust and satisfaction. But when it works, this intense focus on what the customer needs means faster responses, maybe more personalized service, definitely fewer complaints, and higher satisfaction scores. And that leads to loyalty, more sales, a better brand image. It makes products more competitive because they're more reliable, more responsive, closer to what people actually want.
Okay, so boiling it down, TQM boosts quality, leading to a ripple effect, more demand, lower cost, better efficiency, and long-term success. It feels like a huge shift from, say, old school quality checks. What's the real difference? Does that traditional QC just disappear, or does it find a new role?
That's a crucial point. Traditional QC doesn't vanish entirely, but its role definitely transforms within TQM. Let's compare them. The focus for TQM is broad customer satisfaction, constant improvement everywhere. Traditional QC, mostly just catching defects in the finished product, reactive.
Oh, okay.
The approach is different too. TQM is proactive, prevent the problems. Traditional QC was reactive, find and fix problems after they happen.
Right.
Responsibility in TQM, everyone, the whole organization. Traditional QC, often just a dedicated QC team.
Got it.
TQM is a long-term cultural thing. Traditional QC was more about short-term checks, inspections, and cost. TQM aims to cut costs long-term by reducing waste and rework. Traditional QC could actually increase costs through scrap, recalls, all that inspection effort. So yeah, it's a fundamental cultural shift, a whole mindset change, not just adopting a few new tools.
Okay, let's unpack the history then. Where did all this come from? It's kind of amazing the TQM roots go back, over a century? To Frederick Taylor and scientific management, that seems unexpected.
It is, isn't it? If you trace it back, Taylor talked about consistent methods, inspection. Then, in the 1920s, industry started using statistical process controls. But the real shift happens post-war. In the 1950s, Japanese manufacturers really embraced quality theory. By the 60s, continuous improvement was becoming their thing, Think Toyota.
Right, Toyota's famous for it.
Exactly. They pioneered things like Kaizen, continuous improvement, poka-yoke error proofing, designing things so mistakes are hard or impossible to make.
Like a USB plug only fitting one way.
Precisely. And just-in-time production, making only what's needed when it's needed, minimizes waste. Their quality and efficiency became legendary. It wasn't really until the late 80s, early 90s that U.S. companies looked at Japan's success and thought, hey, maybe we should try that. That's when TQM really started spreading globally.
Wow. So a modern concept with roots over 100 years old, heavily shaped by Japanese innovation after the war. Okay, so if someone wants to do TQM or just understand it better, there are these 8 core principles, right? Like a
Yeah.
blueprint.
Absolutely. They're the foundation. Let's run through them quickly. First, customer focus. Obvious, maybe, but crucial. Research needs, align goals, measure satisfaction, use the feedback.
Makes sense.
Second, total employee commitment. Everyone needs to be on board. Communicate the vision, give them training, resources, empower them, celebrate wins, let people talk openly about issues.
Okay.
Third, adhere to processes. Use defined steps consistently. Measure how well processes work, find bottlenecks, see how they affect everyone involved. Fourth, promote an integrated system. Break down those walls between departments. Make sure everyone understands the relevant policies, standards, goals, processes, so they can work together effectively.
No more silos.
Yeah, exactly. Fifth, a strategic and systematic approach. Quality isn't an add-on. It has to be baked into your core strategy and how you manage things. Sixth, and this one's huge, continuous improvement. Kaizen. The genius here isn't just slow change, it's realizing that lots of small efforts from everyone add up massively, often more than big top-down projects. So, set measurable goals for improvement everywhere, encourage new ideas, keep skills sharp.
That Kaizen idea is powerful.
It is. Seventh, fact-based decision-making. You need data to know how you're really doing. Collect it, analyze it. But here's the interesting part. TQM knows data needs interpreting, and humans can be biased, so the emphasis is on consensus based on data trying to get past individual biases for better decisions.
Data plus discussion.
Right. And finally, eighth, communications, clear goals, plans, strategies, methods, involve people, keep everyone updated.
So these 8 principles, they're not just corporate jargon. They feel like actionable steps you could apply almost anywhere, right? Even outside of a typical business. But let's be real. TQM sounds great, but it can't be perfect. It must have downsides too. It's important we look at both sides of the coin.
Oh, absolutely. Let's talk benefits first. TQM definitely gives you a stronger competitive edge, better products, better services. It makes companies more adaptable to change. You generally see higher productivity because processes are smoother, less waste. It boosts your market image, builds trust. Eliminating defects and waste saves money directly. You get better customer loyalty and often improved employee morale and job security because the company's doing well. And of course, it enhances value for shareholders and stakeholders, drives innovation.
Okay, those are some solid upsides.
Yeah.
What about the challenges, the disadvantages?
Well, first off, TQM is time and resource intensive. It takes a serious commitment.
I can have that.
You'll likely face resistance to change. People get comfortable, not another new initiative, that kind of thing.
Heard that one before.
Yeah. There's also a risk of employee burnout. That relentless focus on improvement can create a high-pressure vibe if not managed well. And sometimes it gets misinterpreted or misapplied. People might think they're doing TQM, but they're missing key parts, so it doesn't work. Finally, there's a potential for a narrow focus. You could get so wrapped up in TQM processes that you neglect other vital things, like maybe radical innovation or broader market strategy.
That's a really important balance to strike. Understanding those potential pitfalls is key.
Mhm.
So if an organization decides to go for it, how do they actually implement TQM? You mentioned it's not one size fits all.
That's right. It has to fit the organization. But there are general steps. You'd start by reviewing your current workflows, see where the gaps are, document quality issues. Tools like Kanban boards can help visualize that.
Okay, see the flow.
Then set clear, measurable goals tied to business objectives. Maybe use Gantt chart milestones for phased implementation. And crucially, track progress using KPIs, key performance indicators, and keep training your teams. Continuous learning is part of it. Beyond that, there are different strategic flavors. Some use the TQM element approach, picking specific tools like quality circles or SPC. Some follow a guru approach, like applying Deming's 14 points religiously. Others use an organization model approach, learning from companies that won awards like the Baldrige Award early on, or the Japanese total quality approach, studying techniques from Deming Prize winners in Japan. And finally, the award criteria approach, just focusing implementation on meeting the criteria for a specific quality award.
Okay, this is where it gets really fascinating for me. Let's talk about the specific tools. Statistical Process Control, SPC. Sounds very statistical. But it's key in manufacturing, right? For someone not deep into stats, how do you visualize what SPC is actually doing?
Yeah, SBC sounds technical, but the idea is pretty straightforward. It's about using data to monitor, control, and improve a process. Think manufacturing primarily. Its goal is better quality, higher productivity, less waste, lower costs. It does this by helping you understand how your process behaves naturally, spotting when something changes, and reducing unwanted variation. Dr. Walter Schohart came up with the basics back in the 1920s.
Okay.
So, the key parts. First, data collection. Good data is everything accurate, reliable, representative. Then, statistical analysis, using stats techniques you mentioned, ANOVA, regression, basic stuff too to understand what the data is telling you about the process. But the real workhorse is control charts. These are graphs. Think of them like a heartbeat monitor for your process.
Oh, okay. Visual. I like that.
Exactly. They plot data over time, and crucially, they have these statistically calculated limits. These limits help you see the difference between normal random variation, the everyday little fluctuations you expect, what we call common cause variation.
Like the room temperature changing slightly.
Perfect example. And special cause variation. Something specific, identifiable that's gone wrong and needs fixing, like that thermostat breaking.
Got it. Normal noise versus a real signal.
Precisely. And there are different charts for different data, X-bar and R charts for averages and ranges, P charts for defectives, C charts for defects per item, but they all do that same job. Visually flag unusual behavior.
So you look for points outside the limits or weird patterns.
Exactly. Points outside limits, long runs on one side, clear trends. Those are signals that something shifted. You investigate, find the root cause, take action. Another piece is process capability analysis. This uses stats indices like Seek and ECPT to measure if your process is actually capable of meeting the specifications, the requirements.
How does that work, simply?
Think of it like golf.
Huh?
A CP or CPK value greater than 1 means your process isn't just hitting the target, it's consistently staying well within the acceptable boundaries. It's reliable.
Okay, more than just capable, but reliably capable.
You got it. And underpinning all of SPC and TQM really is continuous improvement driven by the PDCA cycle, Plan, Do, Check, Act.
TDCA, heard of that.
Right. Plan. Identify a problem. Make a plan. Do. Try the solution, usually small scale first. Check. See if it worked. Analyze the results. Act. If it worked, adopt it fully. If not, adapt it or maybe abandon it and try something else. It's a constant loop, always improving.
Okay, that connects back nicely. So SPC is this powerful tool. How does it relate to the bigger term, statistical quality control, or SQC? Is SQC just more of the same or something different? Sounds like SQC might be the umbrella.
That's a great way to put it. SQC is the broader umbrella. It's a whole system of statistical techniques used to monitor, maintain, and improve quality across all sorts of industries, not just manufacturing. SPC is a vital, maybe the most well-known tool within the SQC toolkit, but SQC includes other methods too.
Ah, okay. So what are the big benefits of using SQC more broadly?
Well, SQC allows for real-time quality monitoring. You spot problems as they happen. It's great for effective root cause analysis, finding out why things went wrong, maybe using tools like the Ishikawa or fishbone diagram.
Fishbone.
Yeah. That helps you take proactive corrective measures. It drives process optimization for efficiency and ultimately leads to enhanced customer satisfaction because you're delivering consistently high quality.
And it's used outside manufacturing, too.
Oh, definitely. SQC is huge in automotive for safety and component quality, in pharmaceuticals for drug safety and consistency. Even the food industry relies heavily on it for safety and meeting regulations. Anywhere consistent quality and safety are paramount, you'll likely find SQC methods at work.
So quite a journey we've taken. From the big picture of total quality management through its core principles, its history, pros and cons, and down into the statistical nuts and bolts of SPC and SQC. This deep dive really feels like it gives you that shortcut to understanding a critical philosophy.
Absolutely. And the really interesting thing, I think, is that knowing about TQM, SQC, SPC, it's not just for managers or engineers. It's about understanding how systems achieve excellence. These ideas offer a powerful framework for getting consistent results and always looking for ways to get better, which is relevant almost anywhere.
Which leads us perfectly to our final thought for you, the listener. Beyond the factory floor or the corporate office, what does this all mean for you? Here's something to chew on. How could you apply the core principles of TQM, that relentless customer focus, the drive for continuous improvement, making decisions based on facts, maybe even that simple Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle, to parts of your own life, your personal projects, how your team works together, areas where quality isn't a product you ship, but an outcome you really care about achieving?